approaching the backside of this thing. So who knows? Next, I'm going to have Rick Martin do our birthdays and anniversaries. Rick?
All right. Dr. Rabondo, would you please pass on that good news to Governor Cooper? Maybe we can lighten things up around here. Good morning, everybody. We do have some birthdays and anniversaries to celebrate today. And as a matter of fact, it's a big birthday day today. I'm not sure who all is here. John Holland. And
seen John in a while.
Huh?
Haven't seen John in a while.
No, we haven't. He and his wife Louisa share the same birthday, and it was a Tuesday. So if you run into them, just say happy birthday to them. How about Jim Kennedy? I guess everyone is out celebrating. Jim had a birthday on the 12th, and Dale Farlow. I think I saw Dale. No?
How old is Dale?
29. 29 is what I have here. I'm going to tell him you asked too.
Kill me.
Yeah. And Kelly Harrell, I don't think he's made it today. And Ross Geller. Well, I'll be darned.
Ricky, I'm on.
Huh? Are you?
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. I didn't see you, buddy. I'm sorry about that. Well,
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think today is your big day, right?
I do believe it is, yes.
I believe it is. Well, everybody, you know what that means. We all get to sing. So let's sing happy birthday to our buddy Ross here and join in with me. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ross. Happy birthday to you and many more. All right.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And you know, Kelly and Dale also had their birthdays today too. So again, everybody shows to be.
Put the rest of them back, please, honey.
Yeah, after that singing, Ross, it's all going to be an easy road from here.
Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, got the worst part behind me now.
Shoot. We have some wedding anniversaries this week. Rusty Hoffman. I don't think Rusty's here today. And Steve Wertz. Well, they all had anniversaries. They're probably out celebrating big time today. And club anniversaries. Now, Tom Richardson, I think I saw you here, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, attaboy. You have an anniversary, a club anniversary, and it'll be coming up this Saturday. Remember how many years?
7, I think.
Lucky number. Yes, sir, my man. 7 great ones. Glad you're here. And I don't think John Nossick made it this morning, did he? He also is celebrating 7 years with the club as well. So, well, Mr. President, that really wraps us up for this week.
Thank you, Rick.
Very well.
In the interest of having one sound at a time, I'm going to go ahead and mute all. And if you need to speak, make sure you unmute. All right. I don't think you've lived until you heard 36 people all break in and out singing happy birthday out of tune on Zoom. So that was really enjoyable. So our next announcement is about our satellite club. We have 2 new members have had 7-day letters sent out. If you haven't seen that, it's Tina Forsberg and Robert Hebner. Chris Hampton and I met with them to talk about joining the club, and then Steve sent out their 7-day letter. And those guys are both, I think, going to be great members. So everybody take a look at their applications and then make an effort to introduce yourself and get to meet them. The Satellite Club met Monday at Cafe Pasta, and I want to give a shout out to Charlotte and Chip Person. They're doing a great job kicking that off and leading it, and it's growing. You know, that it's a little harder for our live meetings to grow, but the Satellite Club is continuing to grow, and they're small groups that can meet live. They are spacing out. It is mask optional because people are eating and having cocktails. It's more of a restaurant setting. If anybody wants to join their meetings, the next meeting is August 24th. And then on September 14th, we're going to induct the whole group. So the original plan was to maybe induct them at our changing of the guard, or whatever we're going to call it, but that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. So some of these people are getting on to about 6 months in the club and have yet to be inducted. So we're going to move that up.
We can do something about that.
Yes, Judge Hassel is going to join me and whoever else would like to attend at Cafe Pasta on September 14th. And we're going to go ahead and induct the whole group. So we've ordered a bell for them. We've got a banner coming. We've got badges and everything. Those guys are all going to be fully inducted on that date. So that's exciting stuff. Thank you, Robbie, for volunteering.
Could be a special night. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Guy, this is Gigi. How many members do we now have in the satellite group?
They have 12.
12?
Yes, and we have a couple more applicants coming. So, I mean, that's assuming. Actually, I think it'll be 14 with the 2. There was some contention about who's in and who's not because we haven't followed a steady stream of inducting them and putting them in. It's all been kind of coming from different directions. So I think it'll be 14 when they're done with the final applications.
Okay. And is there a limit on the number of members in the satellite group? I'm asking because a couple of friends of mine have expressed interest in joining.
No, the board met Tuesday and we voted on extending the kind of the founding member group to 20. So once they get to 20, then they'll have some autonomy, we think, and they can start deciding what they want to do a little more. Even though they're still going to be part of our club, the original 20 members are going to have the Paul Harris Fellow initiation fee waived, and the club's going to absorb that part either through donating points or just absorbing the cost of it. Once we get past 20, we're going to do a reduced initiation fee, and then they'll be required to do the Paul Harris Fellow donation that we were all required to do as part of the general club. So, that if they get to more than 20, we're not sure about where it's going to go from there because it just started. But I would assume we could get as many people as we want. The whole point is to grow the club, so and bring in new members.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next I'm going to call on Matthew to talk about our service project. We met last Saturday.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I don't know quite why, but for some reason my iPad's registering as Pamela Broom, but that's another matter. We had a great weekend. Probably about a dozen people came. I really appreciate everybody coming to help. It's always nice when you don't have to go up and down the street by yourself. We got lots of trash, and it was a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. In case anybody counted, there was 16 people. So Matthew's a little slow on the math. And thank you, David.
It involved more than one hand, right?
Yeah. So we had a good group. Lots of people came out. You can tell people are really starved for attention when they come out and pick up trash, and they're excited about doing it. So we had a good time, and I think we filled up 8 or 10 bags of garbage. So that's a good thing. In one of the busiest intersections in Greensboro. So next, I'm going to announce our district golf tournament. It's September 24th. This is the district golf tournament. The deadline is September 10th to sign up. The limit is 100 people, and it is at Carolina Trace Country Club in Sanford. If you're interested in signing up, Patrick Eakes is the contact person, and you can reach out to him, and he'll help get you signed up. I haven't gotten any update on whether it's full or not, but I would assume just like trash cleanup, people are desperate to get out and do things outdoors, so I would assume it's going to fill up before that deadline. Next, I'm going to call on Dan to give us an update on Chris Justice's family and his golf tournament.
Good morning, everybody. I think it was fun when Gigi says, "Guy, this is Gigi." That's something you never have to say, Gigi. We all know when it's you, I promise. I've spoken to Chris a few times this week. He and Stephanie got a medical flight to New York on Friday and had a relatively stable weekend, and they did several procedures with Stephanie on Monday. in the hopes that they can avoid major issues down the road. I think to determine the success of the procedures on Monday, they had to take her off the pain medicines for Tuesday and the rest of the week. So I think that's been a challenge. But as of last night, Chris I think he gets 7.5 hours in the hospital, some deal he's negotiated with the doctors there as far as COVID and whatnot, and then they chase him off. And he's spending the nights running the subways in New York. So he's living it on the edge.
So what happened? I haven't heard. This is Rusty.
Yeah, Stephanie's had a long-term digestive issue that they've dealt with. You guys remember when Chris was president back in, I think it's 16, 17, she was in the hospital a number of times for a number of surgeries. And they had planned to go to New York to see a specialist there when they found out Stephanie had COVID. So that just threw another monkey wrench in everything. So she's dealing with both issues right now. As to golf, COV, our golf is the 11th of September. Thank you for the folks who signed up. If you want to sponsor, whatnot, try to get a hold of me next week or so we can get all that stuff squared away for you. The idea of pig stock this year and the governor giving us a permit for 1,000 people is probably not going to happen. So this is working out to be COV's big fundraiser. So any help is appreciated, and all golfers are fun. This is casual. So I think that's it, September 11th. Thanks, Guy.
Thank you, Dan. So that's all the general announcements we have for the club, unless somebody else has something they want to talk about. Oh, Lisa, I would like to call on you to talk about our fundraiser. How are we doing with that?
Trying to unmute. Okay, good morning. We are right around 22,000 with our sponsorships, and from my math, and I estimated with the members that we will probably bill $300, we should end up right now somewhere around 35,000. And I don't think we have any expenses to deduct from that. So anything that you do from now until the end of August will just add to that number, assuming that we collect all the $300 bills that we send to the membership. So that's probably not bad. And then I think Danielle and Tom and I are working on another fun fundraiser for maybe October, something that we can do outside and raise money and share with other clubs. So stay tuned for that. And if you're selling raffle tickets online, or if you would like some of the old raffle tickets, I do still have some of those. If you'll let me know, I'm happy to drop them in the mail or deliver them. So thanks for all the support.
Yeah, and I want to remind everybody, this year we might hit the milestone of being able to award our scholarship. So this is a 4-year scholarship to a local university. We have to work out all the details, but it's going to be awarded to somebody who's service-oriented and in need in our community. So this will be a big deal for our club. We've been working on it for a decade. So this long-term project. Yes, this fundraiser is important. And Lisa, you're doing a great job. It's not quite as fun, but if we manage to raise the money, so what? This last 6 months is a lost 6 months anyway. So let's hit our goal. Everybody try and push. We've got a few weeks here to try and really bump up that number. This also pays our club grants, which benefits our community directly through our members. And we're going to make a special donation to Out of the Garden, and they have a huge need for food in our community right now. So please try and remember to ask people if they would like to buy raffle tickets, send out the link to buy the raffle tickets. And they're really good prizes. So they're fun prizes. They don't cost the club anything. So every ticket we sell really adds to that bottom line, which goes to good stuff. So.
And I can send that link again if anyone would like it. I'll just send it out again. But also we will draw the raffle, the winners on September 10th, I guess, via Zoom. We'll figure that out.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, so I'm going to call on Buster if he'd like to do our happy dollars. Buster, you here?
I am here. My internet went out in the middle of of announcements, and so I had to go get my phone. So anyway, happy dollars, baby. I can't see everybody. That's disappointing, but we got happy dollars.
I'll start it off, Buster. I do have one. My middle child turned 16 last night, and you know, for young ladies, sweet 16 is a big birthday. So we had plans to bring her to New York. We were going to bring her to a Broadway show and do a lot of fun stuff, and all that stuff got pushed aside. But we made the best of it, and her friends all came together. She had 7 friends who wanted to throw a surprise party for her, so we brought her out to dinner. And they came in while we were at dinner and set up a big surprise. And we came home, and she, you know, she was kind of mopey all day, but the evening was great. She was excited, had fun. And I don't think she even thought about New York for a second. So I am still on the hook for that trip.
Buster, I've got one to follow up on that. You talk about New York and Broadway being dark these days. Some of you may know my little brother, my Broadway brother, Harry Hassel, who's a Broadway musician. And we got the news after he and his wife bought a house in Fisher Park last year to rent out, and with the idea that it would be a 5 to 10 year window of them eventually moving back to Greensboro. With Broadway being dark through the end of the year, including the holidays and probably into January beyond, they made a command decision to go ahead and move that timetable up, and they're moving to Greensboro within the next week or two. And they are got an offer on their co-op condo in Jackson Heights, and so we'll be excited to have them back in Greensboro and contributing to the local art scene here as well. His wife is a cellist. She's from Montreal, but they've been up there almost 20 years as working musicians, but it's kind of hard to do when you don't have people coming in to do the shows and see them when there are no shows to see. And New York's a very different place right now, and they know it's going to come back, but they had been planning to come to Greensboro for some time, so it's going to be a reality. So that's our happy dollar.
That's exciting. I can honestly say I did not know you had a brother. So
how about that?
Any other siblings that we don't know about? We know about your 2 kids, but
well, I've got a couple other siblings. I'm the oldest of 4.
Oh my gosh, Hassel's everywhere. This is incredible.
Happy dollar. I don't think Danielle's on today. In fact, I know she's not because she contacted me late last night. I would just like to thank her publicly in front of the club for sending me several speaker suggestions. And our speaker today, actually, Heavenly, was a suggestion from Danielle, and Danielle intended to introduce Heavenly, but she had something come up. So I'm taking speaker suggestions. So if you guys have any ideas of interesting speakers, let me know.
I got a happy dollar, Buster.
All right, Tom.
A lot of y'all have known Meredith over the years, and she will be a junior starting this fall at University of Kentucky. She's heading back tomorrow. And I've been down at the beach for a couple of weeks. I was down with a bunch of friends from high school. We had renters coming to our place, and I had to run over there and sit through the hurricane, which I'd never done before. I know it wasn't a huge one, but it was pretty windy, and one of my windows came a little loose from the frame of it, and it was banging around. It didn't bust through, but I texted home and said the window blew through, and everybody went into a panic, but it all turned out okay. I know down below us, south of us, got way more damage than we did, so we were lucky on that.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Well, when Chip was praying this morning, it made me think of Grandpappy Lewis, and they used to let him pray before a meal, and then one day he decided he was going to recite the 23rd Psalm as grace before the meal, and he said, "And lead us not into temptation." Who am I kidding? I know a shortcut. Follow me. Oh, well.
It's hard when you don't get any feedback, Buster.
Everybody's
on mute.
It's a great joke, Buster.
Like
Good job,
watching
buddy.
late night television, and those guys are doing their monologues that are really funny, but it's nobody.
Does the quality of the jokes depend on the amount that's collected?
Yes. It was I dispense them as I feel like y'all deserve them. So
hey, I was laughing, Buster. I was laughing. You just couldn't hear it. I couldn't find the mute button.
All right.
Buster, I didn't know you had finished telling the joke.
We were just waiting for the moment.
I do have one quick announcement before Lisa announces our speaker. The Satellite Club has thrown down the gauntlet on Happy Dollars. So granted, their contributions aren't typically $1, but they've been collecting somewhere in the realm of $30 to $35 a meeting. And I put that money into the club account through Venmo at the last meeting. So they put in about $75. So they have challenged us to raise more than they have, since we don't have a lot of ways to contribute right now. So with that, I'll let Lisa go ahead and announce our speaker.
Are you sure they're not giving us the tip money?
No, it's all collected at the meeting.
No, just kidding. Well, I'm pleased to welcome Heavenly Walker, and as I said, Danielle wanted to be here but could not, to introduce Heavenly. But Heavenly is has an entrepreneurial spirit balanced with natural leadership qualities and a willingness to help, accept, and opportunities to help others. She attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where she studied management and society with a minor in social and economic justice. She is currently the member engagement specialist for the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. She's really excited about the economic development in downtown and just the opportunities there. She's a graduate of the 2019 Leadership Greensboro's class, and she served as program chair for the 2020 class. She's been active in revitalizing the young professional community of Greensboro through Synergy Young Professionals, as a member of the Executive Council and Leadership Committee for the last 3 years. She is a North Carolina Institute of Political Leadership Fellow. She's also served on community-focused boards such as the United Way Young Leaders and Mustard Seed Community Health. She is now a member of the board of directors at the Volunteer Center of the Triad and the Metro Area YMCA. She is excited and encouraged to continue her work as the change agent in our community. So welcome, Heavenly.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm so glad to be here this morning. Listening to someone read your bio is always interesting, because you're kind of like, oh God, how do I have time to do all of that? But I love Greensboro. I'm from here. I grew up here, moved away for about 10 years, and then I've been back since 2010. So, or I'm sorry, 2006. Yeah, it's been even longer than I thought. But I love being a part of this community and being a part of how we are going to continue to move forward and grow. And I'm excited to be here and speak with you all today. What I'll do is I'll share my screen. I will be talking about the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce, just kind of giving you an overview of everything about the organization. A lot of people are aware of the chamber, But in my work, I do find that everyone isn't fully aware of all of the work that we do and the things that we are a part of that is moving our community forward in various ways. So I will tell you a little bit about the Chamber. I'll also share a couple of other initiatives that we've launched in the last 6 months, mainly based on, of course, COVID-19, as well as equity and inclusion. So I will share all of that. And as I go through the presentation, I will try to pop in some links into the chat so that if you want to just check out certain websites or get more information, you'll have that available. And at the end, I'll open up the floor for questions. So I am looking forward to some good questions, and I will go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. And there we go. All right, so the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce was established in 1877 as one of the first groups of its kind. It was incorporated in 1888 and was one of the first organizations of its kind, with the first president of the chamber being Julius A. Gray. Currently, the Chamber is the largest business organization in the community of Greensboro, serving more than 1,300 member businesses through programming designed to help them grow and succeed. The Chamber serves as Greensboro's primary economic development organization, with special emphasis placed on community and entrepreneurial advancement through Action Greensboro and Launch Greensboro. Our chamber organization is an advocate for our business community. We have a legislative agenda every year except for this year. We travel to Raleigh in April to meet with our legislators and to lobby for particular issues that affect the Greensboro community. We work closely with our business leaders, our colleges and universities, and other key stakeholders to focus on policy issues directly affecting Greensboro, Guilford County, and the Triad. One of our goals is to also be a champion for creating quality jobs. We have several programs that are part of that, and I'll share some links in that. And in the next slide, you'll also get some more information. But together with our partners around the region, we develop and implement a strategy for recruitment, retention, and expansion of businesses in targeted industries, as well as planning for future buildings and sites for targeted growth. A strong, connected business environment creates opportunities for all, and we know job creation is at the core of growing our economy. If you hear things in the news, such as the Publix distribution center that is being built out on Highway 70 in Whitsett, that's bringing 1,000 jobs. We broke ground out there in January. That is a project that our economic development team was a part of bringing that distribution center and those jobs to Greensboro. The Chamber was also a part of the initiative to keep the Fresh Market headquartered in Greensboro. So generally when you hear about those things, our Chamber is a part of the team of leaders that are working to make sure that Greensboro is a place that's known nationally and internationally. We have our team meet with business owners from all over the world to get Greensboro on the map. And of course, I hope most of you know about our mega site on the Guilford County-Randolph County line, where we are actively working to land something there. A couple of years ago, you may have heard, we got second place for the Toyota Mazda plant. And that went from, they didn't even know Greensboro existed, to being runner-up. So we just hope that real soon we'll be able to get a huge win and land a large economic development boost by getting something on that site. As far as workforce development and talent retention, Campus Greensboro is our fellows program, and it is a competitive 10-week program through the summer that includes a paid industry internship and opportunities to build your network, enhance your professional development, engage in the community, and explore Greensboro as a place to thrive as a young professional. Several years ago, this is about a 3-year-old program. I think we're in our 4th year this year. It's a little bit scaled back, of course, but it was developed because we found that to have such a vibrant university and college community here in Greensboro, we weren't retaining our talent. The students were coming here, getting a stellar education, and taking their talents to other area, cities, or other states. And so Campus Greensboro was developed to, one, make sure that students knew that there were jobs here in Greensboro, great jobs and careers in Greensboro, but then to also teach them more about the Greensboro community. We are definitely a college town because we do have 7 colleges and universities, but it never feels like it. And so this was an opportunity to have them explore Greensboro and do different community exercises, getting them out of campus and out in Greensboro and learning more about the city that they're going to school in. And they also do take leadership development from the Center for Creative Leadership for a 2-day leadership development training. So we've definitely seen a lot of great things happen. I think last year we had about 115 students placed in internships around Greensboro. The Guilford Apprenticeship Program is a public-private partnership offering an alternative path to attaining college education for free while also obtaining paid on-the-job training. I know most of us remember when we were in high school, there were trade classes that you could take that could prepare you for maybe going into a skilled career right after high school. Now that we don't necessarily have that as prevalent in our Guilford County school system, the GAP program is that way of offering this to students. So juniors and seniors can participate in this apprenticeship program. They work closely with businesses and industries here in several different industries, and they're also able to take courses at GTCC. And when they graduate high school, they're positioned to be on track to completing an associate's degree in a particular field, as well as have a job opportunity ready to go. It's an excellent program. Again, we'll put the link in the chat section once I'm done if you want to check out more about the GAP program. And lastly, with workforce development and talent retention is our Triad Workforce Solutions Collaborative. It basically connects business leaders, educators, workforce development and service providers, and funders to support and accelerate skills and talent development collaboration so that our region goes farther, faster in creating a pipeline of skilled workers to fill jobs of today and the future. I think a lot of us have already heard a lot about, there's a point where there's a lot of skilled laborers that are retiring and we don't have a pipeline of talent to fill those necessary positions and roles. And so this Triad Workforce Solutions Collaborative, as well as the GAP program, are designed to do that. The program partners with the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro, the Chamber, as well as Business High Point, and is affiliated with the National Solutions Fund for Workforce. I just want to quickly share, I know the Chamber, working with the High Point Chamber, is definitely something that came about a couple of years ago with the Guilford County Economic Development Alliance. Some of you may remember Greensboro and High Point used to butt heads a lot on bringing in new businesses, but thankfully, we have come to a place where the county as a whole is working together, because if we are landing new companies in High Point, they're going to have employees in Greensboro and vice versa. And so working together with all these local organizations is only going to help our community thrive. And we all want the same goal. So it just makes sense that we do it together. Launch Greensboro is our entrepreneurial hub. They are located off of Green Street, right beside Elon Law. And they're designed to help launch successful, resilient, and innovative entrepreneurs and help them take intention and collaboration and build new businesses that they want to bring to our community. We have a mission to help create by 2022 to have helped create up to 200 new businesses that are launched by local entrepreneurs. I included a couple of the programs that we have here. Launch Lab 101 is a 5-week accelerator program for startup companies and founders to critically consider their business idea and develop a plan. And so they work weekly with local experts and mentors on how to define their market, develop their customer base, strategies, and learn leadership and financial skills. Once a student goes through Launch Lab, they can next take our growth series, which is a 12-week, more immersive program. And it's designed for young companies that are about 2 years young and are at a point where they're looking to take their business to the next level and scale it and grow. Furloughed entrepreneur, I thought that would be important to share, because right now we do have a lot of individuals that are furloughed or laid off. And they created a program that was designed for that individual that may have been working in a career or just working in a job where they always had an aspiration to start their own business. But when you're working a full-time job, it's always hard to do that. And they're finding themselves that they're now furloughed and they have that additional time. So this program was created to provide that opportunity to help them develop what their idea was and work to help them launch that with the time that they have available during their furlough. These are just two of the many programs that Launch Greensboro offers. Again, I'll put that link in the chat so that you will have an opportunity to check out some of the other things. One thing that I would like to share is, or two at least, is Capital Connects, which is our pitch competition that we have every March. And with that competition, we have 10 entrepreneurs that pitch their business and their business idea to a group of judges, and they compete for up to $20,000 in seed funding. So it is a great, vibrant, entertaining experience to see these entrepreneurs share their ideas and to see these businesses win and grow and watch them progress. Then we also have our First Launch Capital Fund, which is a fund that we are working to continue to raise money to be able to sow into early stage startups. So those are just a couple of the other things that are coming out of Launch Greensboro. But again, I'll share that link later. Our Minority Business Accelerator program is designed to continue to help grow strong businesses through tailored resources and career opportunities for current and future generations. Because of programs like the Minority Business Accelerator program, it provides educational programming and summits to expand the culture of inclusion, innovation throughout Greensboro and Guilford County. This program was developed, I think it's about 4 years old. We, every other year, the Chamber goes on an inner city visit where we visit another city that is similar in size and is also doing things that we want to achieve here locally. And when we went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, that's where they have had a Minority Business Accelerator for some time. And so we adopted what they were doing there and brought that to Greensboro. It's an excellent program. There are about, I'd say, 6 portfolio companies and goal setter companies, and that's businesses such as Cone Health, Samet, BB&T/Truist, and some other large organizations that are working with some of the smaller minority businesses that can provide some of the skills and labor that they will be seeking contracts for. Talent and workforce development. So our community is focused on, our chamber is focused on making sure that, as I said earlier, we continue to have talent, we continue to build our workforce. And with having 7 colleges and universities, over 70,000 students here in our community, like Campus Greensboro, as I mentioned earlier, we also offer Synergy Young Professionals, which is also a part of retaining talent. I was on the executive council for Synergy for 3 years. I am no longer considered a young professional. I had to tap out and throw in my hat and say, you know, it targets that 21 to 40-year-old demographic. And I enjoyed every moment of participating in that organization. And if you work with young professionals, or if you have new young leaders that move to Greensboro and they're just looking for a way to plug in, Synergy is absolutely an excellent opportunity for them to meet other like-minded young professionals and also to do a lot of great educational programming. They offer a leadership summit that generally takes place in February or March. They do several types of lunch and learn programming that focuses on issues and things that are important to that particular demographic. Leadership Greensboro, yes, I did graduate in 2019. It was one of the most phenomenal programs that I've been a part of here in Greensboro. I'm from here, and I still learn things about this community that I did not know. And that, to me, was the most enlightening part, is that that program wraps around leadership development and includes connecting with your community, serving your community, and making an impact in your community. And we're currently, I think they're still accepting applications for the 2021 class. Other Voices is our diversity and inclusion program. And it is an opportunity to be in a space where you can discuss your unconscious biases. And it's a safe space. So you discuss all the isms, whether it's sexism, genderism, racism, ageism, but it's an opportunity to have a small group discussion monthly and to be able to have those kind of conversations in a safe space, in a safe environment. And those are just some of the leadership development and other opportunities that we provide to develop the talent and the workforce here in Greensboro. Member engagement. So member engagement is the team that I'm on. That's what I do. My day-to-day is meeting with businesses, meeting with them and learning about what they do, what's important to them, how I can connect them and help them engage within our community in Greensboro. Some of you I've talked to before. I've seen a couple of people, of course, Danielle. That is how I met her. And we're just here to be a resource for our business members. We're here to refer them, to connect them to the resources that they need, and whether that is, they might have an issue with the city of Greensboro because they're looking for, it's a zoning issue. I've had hotels that are being built that were members and they were not getting permits back in a timely fashion. And so I worked with our economic development team to connect them with the right people to get the right answers within the city of Greensboro. But those are just some of the many things that we do. Most of you are probably aware of our networking opportunities. That is primarily what a lot of businesses join the chamber for, is to connect and engage and network with other business leaders. And so we have several events throughout the year. All of our events for the rest of the year at this point will probably be virtual. We are planning to still have our golf tournament because that will you can get away with doing that. But everything else that we have planned for the year, I think, will be virtual. Coming up in August, on August 26th, rather, is our State of Our Community Luncheon. And that will be held from 12 to 1:30 via Zoom. It is, we are going to focus on the state of our community as it relates to economic recovery from COVID, education, equity, and community health. And Terry Aiken is going to be our keynote speaker for that event. And again, I'll drop that link in the chat for anyone that wants to get more information about that. But what you see here is our virtual networking calendar. We have 2 leads groups in the chamber, one that meets the first and third Wednesday, and one that meets the second and fourth Wednesday. They've been meeting since we've been on our stay-at-home phase 1, phase 2. They've just been meeting via Zoom, but the leads groups are industry specific, so there's no competition in the group. Similar to a B&I, if some of you are familiar with that, but it may not be as, it's a little more relaxed than a B&I, I'll say, where, you're not tracking referrals, but you are encouraged to work with one another and refer one another to help everybody in the group grow. On the second Monday of every month, we have Member Engagement Monday. That is a members only Zoom meeting where we bring in our members to a Zoom call. Hopefully we'll be able to do it in person one day. But this was developed during the last couple of months. And what we've been doing for this is we put everyone in different breakout rooms and allow them the opportunity to network one-on-one during the call. And then we bring everybody back in to share. Our ambassadors program is our volunteer arm of member engagement. We have about 20 ambassadors, which are different business leaders throughout the community. They help us with events. We meet with them once a month. Actually, we've been meeting with them today at 4. They help us connect with our membership by welcoming new members. We partner them with new members of the chamber. They also connect with our current members to ask them to be an additional resource aside from just the member engagement team and chamber staff. They also help us with events as far as when we need that additional hands-on assistance. They are there to help with that as well. On the third Thursday of every month, we have Coffee and Conversation. We won't have that in August because we have our State of Our Community Luncheon. But Coffee and Conversation is a monthly event that tends to talk about just different important topics in the community. In person is held at the Carolina Theater in their event space upstairs. And we offer free breakfast from Deep Roots. And you come in, it's usually about 75 or 100 people that show up. They network and mingle for the first 30 minutes. Then the latter half of the morning, there is some type of educational content. We have had topics everywhere from updates on the downtown Greenway, the Tango Performing Arts Center. Even a couple of years ago, we did one about local breweries, because that year we probably had like 4 breweries like pop up in downtown Greensboro, and so we wanted to talk about the economic development impact that was having on our downtown and our community. And then lastly, Member Jumpstart is on the 4th Monday of every month, and that is where if you're a new member or a prospective member wanting to learn more about the chamber, or a new hire for a business that has been a member for some time, that is an opportunity to come to the chamber, meet the staff. We have everyone go around and introduce themselves, talk about their businesses and what they do. And then from there, we allow time to network. And again, that we look forward to doing that in person again. I totally miss it, but right now, of course, it is virtual. And the last couple of things I want to share is during everything that has happened with the pandemic, we launched our COVID-19 response page. And so I just want to share this. This is a page that's full of resources and information for small businesses and anyone that may need assistance during this time. We created a small business restart guide right after we came out of phase 1, going into phase 2. There's tons of information in there about resources that are available. We have all of our chamber action calls recorded here. This is where we had, in the beginning, we had daily calls because things were just moving so fast and things were changing so quickly with resources and information. But you can go back and you'll be able to listen to any of the calls that we had. Here you see our restart guide, information about the CARES Act, what the city is doing, how things are changing with employment law. But this is a ton of valuable information about the PPP loan forgiveness. This is all available on our website at our COVID-19 response page. So it's a pretty robust page because there was so much information coming out. We were just trying to make sure that we were continuing to add it as it was coming. And then lastly, let's see here. We have our equity resources page, and it was just an opportunity for the chamber to be a leader in having that conversation about equity and inclusion in our community and initiatives that we were looking to launch inside and outside of our organization. So this page was created as well. We had a pledge about, the Greensboro Against Racism. At the end of July, we hosted something called One City, One Film. You may be familiar with One City, One Book through the Greensboro Public Library. They did partner with us to do One City, One Film, where for a couple of weeks in July, we invited anyone to watch the movie The Hate U Give, which is also a book that can be read. And it just discussed some of the things that we were experiencing real time in our nation right now. And we had 3 days of calls where we had facilitators and community leaders come together after watching the film to have dialogue and to talk about ways that Greensboro can make a difference and also move forward. So be on the lookout for some of the results that will be coming out from those calls that we had late July, and then just books and materials that anyone can look up or listen to or watch, podcast information for children and teens, and just tons of other resources, and also information about our Minority Business Accelerator program. So having said all of that, we're like 3 minutes from 8 o'clock. Does anyone have any questions? Again, I appreciate y'all for giving me the opportunity to come here today and share some things about the chamber. And I definitely welcome any questions that you may have.
Heavenly Chip Person here. I was the guy who got lost. I've been home, got my keys. I'm back at Starbucks. Anyway, I think you guys are doing a fantastic job with the chamber. I was just wondering, are y'all working or interfacing at all with the new Carolina Core push to bring businesses to Central North Carolina? And I would hope that we get some spinoff here in Greensboro from that.
To my knowledge, we are. I don't have full details on our direct involvement in Carolina Core, but what I can do is put some information together, and I'll share that with Lisa if you want to send that out to everyone.
Super. Well, thank you very much. Nice presentation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, Heavenly, great job.
Thank you.
I was just going to share with the rest of the club. I joined the GAP a couple months ago. So it looks like a great program. So they added an IT track there. So I'm going to get, an apprentice that's going through GTCC's IT program, and then, join my group as a technician. So if other members have questions later, they can hit me up. I know a little bit, not a whole lot.
Awesome. Thanks for being a part of it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a great program.
Heavenly, Steve Scott here. Looking forward to taking part in the Leadership Greensboro program this year.
Awesome.
Very excited to be included. So looking forward to working with y'all.
I think you will love it. You end up with lifetime relationships. You with 44 to 45 other business leaders, and you really get to know one another, and you really get to build relationships, especially with the community service projects that you will work on during the year.
Heavenly, it's 8 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap up our meeting. I want to say you did a great job, and you have a personal invitation from me. If anytime you would like to be our guest, especially once we start having breakfast. If
Absolutely.
You have any interest,
I love breakfast.
if you have any interest in Rotary, this is the best Rotary Club in Greensboro, so I can safely say that one. So
hey, I'm gonna jump in, Heavenly. We have meetings every other Monday night, part of this club at Cafe Pasta. We'd love for you to come either talk to us or join us as a guest there as well. I'll get you the info through Lisa.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've looked into Rotaries in the past. I just hadn't made that step. So again, I thank you guys for letting me come here, and I look forward to seeing you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heavenly.
All right.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and leave the meeting open, so if people want to continue to talk after, but otherwise that's a wrap. Everybody have a great week.